That's for Jana for council for tomorrow. Yeah, turn it over. I think it's.
I've got one.
They've got commissioners. It's for. It was just so I didn't forget to give it to you.
Hey, I won a $25 Amazon gift card at the conference.
Did you really?
Came in the mail the other day. Indiana Bond Bank.
Jeez. Can't beat that. Took them long enough, didn't it?
Yeah. Month.
Okay, I want to welcome everyone to our January 7th meeting of the County Commissioners. We'll start our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first thing we have on our agenda is election of officers. I'll open nominations for officers.
Mr. Chairman, I nominate George Schrump for chairman of the commissioners.
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion for me for chairman, and we got a second. Any further discussions? Well, any more nominations at this point? We'll close nominations and we'll vote for chairman for county commissioners. All those in favor for the nomination of George Schrump, raise your hands. Thank you.
I make a motion that I nominate Tom Western as vice chair.
Got a nomination for Tom Western for vice chair. I'll second that. Okay, close nomination for vice chair. We'll vote for vice chair for county commissioners, Tom Western. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Okay.
Cheers.
Not today.
Next on our agenda is our attorney, Matt Shipman.
Good afternoon. I just have a couple things to report on, one of which is the lease that I reviewed between Department of Children's Services and the county. That, given the circumstances, it seems appropriate. We did look into the work that has to be done. I think we will have to bid that, but we talked about that earlier. And the only other thing I had is Nathan had brought the last meeting to our attention a property that's in Collins that apparently the county took title to in like 1968 as part of a certificate sale. Is Nathan still here? Anyway, Nathan and I talked before the meeting, and he's going to go ahead and coordinate, between he and I, will coordinate notice. You can actually, by statute, basically just give that to an adjacent property owner. So he and I will work over the next month to get that accomplished and back on the property tax rolls.
So are there multiple adjoining property owners?
There's actually only one.
Okay.
It's a small parcel, and there is an unimproved alley that actually is adjacent to it. So the only other really is us, to the extent we own that unimproved alley. Okay. So there's really only one. We'll still send the notice to him, and because he could say he doesn't want it, I guess, in which case maybe we can figure something else out. But he's probably, my guess has been mowing it for the last 30 years and taking care of it anyway. So
sounds like a plan to me.
Thank you.
I don't have anything else unless you guys have questions specifically for me.
Okay. Thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Okay, next on the agenda we have Sheriff Gatton and Sean Martin about tables in the cell blocks.
Afternoon. I'd sent over, I think Sean had sent over 3 requests for 3 quotes for different styles of seatings and tables to be put in the cells to help eliminate some of the overcrowding of people sitting on the floor to eat. We will be adding 1, so it'll be a total of 5 cell blocks that'll get an additional seating area. Sean's already checked with the state jail inspector and the fire marshal, and they've both cleared, given us the requirements of what it's cleared. And the best thing yet is through the money that Sean gets through the state to house certain style inmates, the misdemeanor fund, we do have the money ourselves to cover that project.
Great.
Attaboy.
Well, it's going to get worse, right? Am I still on, George?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. I had also sent over a packet, which is a weird request for a new deputy being just January of the year. One of the reasons for that is we had one leave. We hired one from the Columbia City Police Department, which saved us some money. We now went through the last process, and we've been having trouble getting apps, and we had 15 apps, and I think by the time we interviewed, we were down to, what, 10? 7 people?
Sheriff, you might explain to the audience why we saved money.
Okay.
By hiring.
Upon hiring of a new deputy, well, Chief Deputy Spencer, if you want to come up since you did this study.
Yes,
I mean, seriously.
He did.
he signed it.
Yeah. Saw his name on it.
The way we do our wages, we have what we call a green pay, we have a min pay, we have a full merit pay. It's about a $3,500 pay range between the green pay and the full merit pay. The reason for that is because we want to reward those that have experience in the academy. The academy is a 16-week academy down at Whitley. That means that person is not away from the department, home on the weekends only. You get somebody that's bypassed that has the academy, has law enforcement experience, there's a huge bonus to the department. Therefore, they're already getting that training. They already got that academy. We don't have to send a person down there. For a figure alone, just to send somebody down to the academy is an extra $2,000 above and beyond wages, just for the fact that you have to pay for meals that the academy doesn't provide. You have to pay for their fuel that you can't get here at the county fuel pumps at our good rate. You're paying for fuel down there to get them back home in a half tank a week. So for that 16 weeks, they're gone. They're not being acclimated to the job that you need to do inside the county. They're down at the academy learning what they need to be a certified police officer in the state of Indiana. The other part of that, the biggest part is hiring somebody that's got the academy with the field training program that any police agency has throughout the United States. Is that person is going to learn how to conduct business, your SOPs and things like that per department who they're working for. When you take that person's wage, even on the green scale, on the low side, and you take a full merit pay, and you combine that to a 6-month FTO period, you're somewhere around $50,000 in combined. You're putting 50 grand into one car in 6 months and 2 people's wages by teaching that person, by hiring somebody that's already has law enforcement experience. Especially with what we have right now, the result, and what we've come up with these results on this hiring process is we've got somebody we've got people that apply that not only have the academy, but they also use the same programs. They're IDAC certified, they're Spillman certified. They know our process, our prosecutor's process as far as filing criminal charges. So leaps and bounds beyond what we need out of a regular somebody hiring off the street that has no experience. So I forget what the number is. Mark has it in front of him. But I think we're somewhere around $38,000 difference in saving money. And that's an overall perspective on the 6-month to 6-week FTO program. I trained somebody with no law enforcement experience for academy compared to somebody that has it and has come in with some experience in academy.
Yeah, our total, what we figure is an estimated savings for the department and the county is $40,793.24 every time we hire somebody that's already certified.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Thought they might want to know why.
And one of the other reasons I've come over is not only we have a couple that are certified left in the process, but the end of last year, Judge Fall had also come over and requested more staffing because of the increased load through his court system. One of the many duties of the Sheriff's Department, of course, one of ours is to be a servant of the courts. So any increase in their load for case reports, whether it be other departments arrest them, if they're brought into the jail, we have to take them over to court. If we have to serve any kind of process paper, civil, or pick up on warrants, again, that falls back on the Sheriff's Department. So their increase is also ours. Of course, the population and studies, if you read that, demographics can change for the whole study, but we're at what we should be at, about 21 officers, and we currently have 17. So I just think this is a good time to move forward when we have somebody. So what I'm requesting from you guys is a favorable pass. The salary is $53,183. That would be at a full pay officer. And then Angie helped me with some figures. I went ahead and took the perf out, Angie, since they're not in that. So it'd be a total with benefit package to the county of $78,305. I've also spoke with Jana Lowett. Currently can sustain that, and what we're supposed to get for the following year will be of what we're paying right now also.
Good.
Are there any, there for several years, there were federal grants out there to hire officers. They paid the first year or something like that. Is there anything like that out there?
I have not seen anything that we qualify for. There
Okay.
still are some grants. The COPS program they ran it were, I think you guys paid like 75% of their salary for 3 years.
I just knew there was something out there one time.
There were a lot last year. Like I said, we didn't qualify. A lot of them went towards tribal police last year that I said.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, do I have a motion to provide a favorable pass for a new deputy position?
I so moved.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion, we've got a second, and this is for a favorable pass for Mark to approach the county council for a new position. Any further discussions?
One thing I'd like to add, you guys are just scared the heck out of me with your drug task force with one person. And we don't have a lot of cooperation from the city, and I just would feel more comfortable if he had some help. The way things are out here on the,
We try to send somebody with him. I mean, I know personally, times we've been short. Both the chief deputy and I have went. Not saying Corey's getting the best of help from us, but at least we're there for him. So,
Jason, did you have something to say?
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
exactly what I touched on. And that does happen quite a bit. I think we have a good relationship with our agencies around us as far as when we get somebody that maybe cross those county lines. Corey and Bill work great with that. But that is the other problem with us, and where we're at even on the road positions and the drug task force position. We are, Corey's had to call Mark or I or somebody else and actually get somebody to commit at 9 o'clock at night. Sean's had to drop things, what he's doing as a reserve, and come in and do things because we are short. It just goes over the whole program of how things work now compared to what they were. It's not the same as it was 12, 15 years ago. It's completely different. But he knows when he needs help, he needs to call, and Mark's been gracious enough to say, get him the help he needs when he needs it. And that's one of the things that we have to do.
Does the city no longer want to participate in the drug task force?
no, they still have a task force, and both officers at times work together. It's just not as convenient as it used to be.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Forgot we were still doing.
Okay, the last request is, a while back, Paula Warden gotten a hold of me, head of community corrections, requesting if we had any cars. Well, at the time, I didn't think we would have any that we would have felt comfortable saying, yeah, we should pass this on to you. Since that time, it's changed. We have a 2003 Dodge Charger that's dark gray in color. It's never had a cage installed in it. Just has over 80,000 miles on it, and the motor only has half of that because we had a motor replaced under warranty around 41,000 miles. So coming to request, instead of getting ready and selling at the end, if you guys would graciously give that to community corrections, so I believe Kathy Schrader could drive it.
And then didn't she have an old Crown Vic?
Yes.
It'll just go to auction then or something?
Yeah, I know they've had to put some money into it recently, yeah, so she
Well,
was
that's got to have some age on it.
It's an 03.
03.
Pretty sure it's an 03.
Yeah, okay.
And you're going to replace it with a 2013.
I make a motion that we approve giving the car to community correction.
second.
We got a motion to approve transferring the car, the gray Charger 2000, is it a 13, 2013?
13, yeah.
Charger
Arrival
with
of our
80,000 miles to Community Corrections. Got a second? Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. And lastly, I'm dropping a agreement off from Amy that I think you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks, Sean. Okay, next on the agenda, we have Scott Wagner, Septic Tank Abandonment for Cordova.
I also have good news. Mr. Cordova found the money to pay a contractor, purchased a permit, and with an exemption, they're starting to work on it today. I've already been to the site. So hopefully within the next week, I'll have that system installed. It'll no longer go to the ditch, and it'll be one thing we'll have to deal with.
Good news.
Great.
In addition to that, I want to introduce Carly LaRue, who's our health educator contractor that we've hired with grant money this year. So you may be seeing her face around here, and she's already hit the ground running. So,
Good.
Any questions for her?
Welcome aboard, and we hope you'll enjoy it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Scott. Okay, Amy's not going to be here. This is going pretty.
Is that?
That's what we need you to sign.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. 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 I'll just open up a little bit, being on the board. They're working very hard on their hazardous material response plan, and we need to approve the plan. That's what, so I'm officially asking that the Board of Commissioners adopt the hazardous materials emergency response plan. Yeah, I'd make a motion that we approve it.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the Local Emergency Planning Committee Hazardous Materials Emergency Response Plan.
Second.
Got a second? Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
Where's your suck things?
I wasn't about to go any further than that. Next on our agenda, we'll propose the Whitley County Highway right-of-way permits. And just the one permit then? Okay. First one we have is on North Virginia Trail. CenturyLink for new home construction.
Move we approve it.
Second.
Got a motion, we got a second. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, the next one we have is also on Legacy Court, 5912 South Legacy Court. It's also for new service.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve. We got a second. Further discussion? All those in favor raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Okay, next on our agenda, we have the 2019 board appointments and assignments. You've got before you the assignments for each one of the commissioners. Does anyone have any changes that they'd like to make? Any additions?
I'm fine with my assignment.
The only thing I've got is I am on Joint Advisory Board, which is not on there.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay.
And then also, right now, we need to appoint a representative for the pretrial services stakeholder meetings. Anyone have a opportunity that they want to volunteer for that?
Oh, I see. So this needs to be one of us.
I nominate Dawn.
And I'm willing to do it. I'm just, look, I see absolutely the first one, I'm not around, February 14th.
We can work together on that. That's,
Can we?
Yeah.
Well, then I'll do it. Yeah.
okay.
What's that called again? I'm sorry.
Pretrial services program.
Do you have any idea what that consists of?
If it keeps me out of jail, I don't really care.
Basically, what they're doing now is they're trying to qualify people once they get into jail. They're qualifying them to see if they could go on their own recognizance rather than going on bail and going into jail.
Okay.
So they're trying
Is
to.
it a court thing or is it a sheriff's department thing?
It's a court. It's through Judge Fall and Judge Rinsler. Okay, appointments, we have Churubusco Public Library. Jana Hall was our appointment last year. Do we want to go through these and reappoint?
I don't know that we are going to change anything. We got to do them just,
Yeah, we gotta have one, I know of one change we gotta have right there.
Yeah.
Okay, Gordon.
I mean, I can't remember what was, I'm not sure if I was here last year when we did that, but did we go through and appoint each one?
I don't think we did last year, but
no.
I don't know.
I mean, if there are changes, maybe do the ones that are changes, and then you could just go through and appoint.
Mary, how long are your appointments for?
4 years.
And do you happen to know if you have anybody up this year that we need to appoint?
No, you guys would have gotten a letter from me and I would have.
Okay.
Okay, so Peabody Public Library, we can
Okay,
eliminate.
and that's Don Langlow and Greg Hockemeyer. South Whitley Library Board, we've got Shannon Fortman and Heidi Hull. Inspector of Weights and Measures, the appointment is for Scott Wagner. Health Board is Dr. Lieb and Russ Gilliam. Alcohol Beverage Commission is Gary Gordon, which he will be replaced next meeting. Whitley County BZA is Tim Denahan and Danny Wilkinson. Columbia City Plan Commission is Doug Graft. South Whitley Plan Commission, we have no appointments yet. Regional Sewer District is Brooks Langlow and Todd Nichols. Pretrial Services will be Don Amber.
I wrote that down.
Okay.
The Regional Sewer District, those two have terms, so
Okay.
we'd have to, I can't sit here and tell you what the terms are right this minute.
Okay, Fee Committee is Don, Jana, and Nathan. Our Risk Assessment is Don Amber, Glenn will be,
When's going to have to change?
that'll have to be changed
The
there.
council change.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jana and Angie Campbell. Safety Committee is Angie, Joe Wolf, Jana, Virgil Folk, Vicky Burney, Kyle Pepler, Don Amber, Mark Gatton, and Amy Biggs. Our GIS Task Force is Dan Weigel.
Does Scott sit in? Scott's gone. I was thinking, does Scott sit in on that too?
He does.
That's what I thought.
that
So
Safety
under
Committee?
Safety Committee, add Scott Wagner.
GIS Task Force is Dan Weigel, Kim Erdley, Amy Biggs, Janice Schimbeckler, Janelle Schmidt, Nathan Bilger, Tom Western, and Brandon Forrester. And then the Jail Task Force is John Barrett, John LaFever, Marcus Gatton, Paula Warden, DJ Sigler, Judge Renschler, Judge Fall, Sean Martin, and Matt Shipman, and then I would be on that also.
Yeah, you're on that too.
Election Board for the party chairman appointments, Neil Haney is a Republican appointment, Amanda Meyer is a Democrat appointment, and clerk secretary,
She's automatic.
okay.
She's the clerk.
It's an automatic.
Oh, okay, the clerk is secretary. Okay, any questions, any amendments?
No. I'd make a motion we approve the appointments as presented.
Second.
Got a motion to approve as presented our appointments for 2019 for the Commissioner, Board, and Committee appointments. Any further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you. Okay, Don, claims.
Well, I went through the claims actually a couple different times. I'm afraid it'd be overwhelming today, so I came in a couple of weeks ago and kind of went through claims and then again today, and I didn't really see anything, so I would
Good.
make a motion that, first of all, we approve the payroll claims.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve payroll claims.
Second.
Got a second. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Thank you.
And I would make a motion that we approve the accounts payable claims.
Motion to approve accounts payable claims.
Second.
Got a second? Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you. And good job up there. I know we haven't found anything for a long time.
I'll bring it down to you guys. Check your agreement.
We want to flip-flop these two for next month. Think so.
Okay, next we have the minutes. I think everybody's had a chance to look at the minutes. Any additions, amendments?
Look good to me. I move we approve them as written.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve the December 17th, 2018 minutes as presented. We got a second. Further discussions? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Angie?
We received the first drafts of the job descriptions from Wagner, Irwin, Shealy Associates for every department except for dispatch and the sheriff. I should receive, they were mailed on Friday, but the jail staff did receive theirs. Is that, yes, no? So they've been distributed to all departments to review and agree or disagree, and they're due back January the 16th. But that's a good next step, so.
Okay. So after the 16th, what are we all going to meet together? Is that what's going to happen, or what
Well,
happens at that
we'll
point?
return those to Wagner, Irwin, Shealy to address any revisions that need to be made. They need to be signed by each employee and the supervisor of that staff member, so they have dual approval before they go back to them, and then
Okay, will a copy of that go to council then, for their approval also?
I think when it's finalized, but not, since we're still on the first draft,
Okay,
but I'll check.
okay.
Other than that, that's all I have.
Too easy.
Yeah.
Matt, did you have anything further?
Yeah, you guys got this.
Yes.
Okay. So this is just for the extension office agreement. It's the same thing as it is every year, just the amount changed because it's what council approved for 19's budget. The auditor used to sign it, but it's contract, so I
Right.
let you guys approve it and George sign it.
The amount for the contractual services for the extension educators is $107,345, $107,345.
That's the one, okay, that's the one we sign every year. This is the one I haven't seen before.
Yep.
Okay.
Did look through that, and I didn't see any problems with it. Jana said that the only thing that's changed from year to year is the amount.
Yeah,
Everything
I looked
else,
through.
language is the same.
But this is literally the first time that as a commissioner, I've ever seen this contract. Yeah, yeah. We've asked for it in years past, and they say, well, here, all you need is this page right here. So Mr. Chairman, I guess I don't have a problem moving on it, but I would love to have time to read this.
Would you like to table?
If we could table, I would table to our next meeting to have time to read the contract, because I've really never seen it before.
Okay, we got a motion to table the extension contractual services agreement.
Second.
Got a second? Further discussion?
Yeah.
And
Well, I wouldn't mind reading a copy, make a copy.
we'll table this until our next meeting, which is the
Okay, thank you.
22nd. Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Opposed, the same. Tom?
No, I guess I don't have anything.
Commissioner?
I guess the only thing I want to bring up, I know we've talked about it, but I want to bring it up in this forum is I'm not happy with the clerk's office decision to close from 12 to 1 every day, Monday through Friday. Part of their rationale was because the courts are closing from 12 to 1 for lunch, and I get that, but the clerk's office tends to deal with people who need to make support payments or pay fines or what have you, and I am bothered by the fact that they're going to close from 12 to 1. I don't think it's right for our constituents, so, and I don't believe, though I haven't been told firsthand, I don't believe that the closing of the courts has anything to do with the closing of the clerk's office, so I just wanted to get that off my chest.
Okay. And I think, I know I agree with that also, that just, there's a lot of opportunities for people to come in at noon that they can't come in before, they can't come in after, and just makes it difficult.
If that's the precedent, then there's no reason Jana can't ask us to close from 12 to 1, the recorders from 12 to 1, the assessors from 12 to 1. Sometimes this is the only time people have to
That's right.
come do business with us, and I don't feel it's right for our constituents to do that to them. So.
And then the next thing, Spencer, he'll be taking off 12 to 1.
No, he takes off 12 to 3. Yeah. So that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. I really don't have anything right now. The commissioners are working on dealing with the contract with Department of Child Services on the building. We're working on that. We're working on still working on jail overcrowding. We're working on that closely with a lot of different people, and I hope we've got some good plans going here on that. Other than that, I don't have anything. Janet, did you have anything more?
I just have that copy.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you, everyone.
Appreciate it.
Brandon.
Oh, I didn't even see Brandon. Brandon?
We're not adjourned yet.
Oh, I didn't say we were adjourned yet.
Oh, my, look at that.
Oh, look at
Look at
that.
that.
He must have done his homework.
Holy mackerel, he's back already.
Apologize for not being on your agenda. I would ask that you put me on your agenda for every meeting, and then
You don't, yeah, if you can't come, that's okay.
there won't be a question. You won't forget
Okay.
about me.
Is this the bids already?
Pardon me?
The bids already that you've gone through, or?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say, that was,
I would have liked to have done that so we could be done with it, but no, I think I probably should put a better eye on them than that. First thing I have is the NDOT LPA agreements for the 2019 community crossings.
That's right, yep.
There were 3 projects that were approved, so there has to be 3 agreements. And so these, if you so choose, need to be signed in blue ink by one of the commissioners and the...
I think it's blue. Looks blue, doesn't it? I think it's blue.
I can't tell.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the agreements, since we've actually already approved the agreements.
we have a motion to approve agreements as presented, and that's for the local roads and bridges matching grant agreements.
This is like $700,000, isn't it?
$650 and change.
Yeah.
Okay, any further discussion? Got a motion and second, right? Second?
Yes.
Got a motion and second, further discussions? All those in favor raise your right hand, opposed the same. Thank you.
I also have notice to bidders for the 3 community crossings projects.
Okay.
If I could get you to sign that, we will get it advertised. And
One notice for 3 projects.
One note, it's going to be one, as far as we're concerned, one contract, but as far as NDOT's concerned, it has to be.
Oh, okay.
I actually have to track the amount of material that goes on each segment of the road.
Okay.
All right, so, but we're going to do it as one bid.
Sheriff had to come back and get his boys.
Yeah. They needed to ride back.
Yeah. This is blue.
He's got one. Well, I don't know if we have to sign. Oh, you have to sign? Oh.
Ooh, where'd them come from?
Just put one in each of your drawers. That's all right.
She is on it.
So while everybody is signing, the salt barn is complete, was completed before the end of the year, and there's give or take 1,000 ton of salt in there, just
Cool.
waiting for it to snow.
Have you notified Star of that yet?
The salt barn is complete.
I'll do that today. I just wanted to make sure you haven't already done it. Different
No.
division, but it's okay. Well,
That part of it had slipped my mind, I apologize. Thank you.
I wasn't trying to.
Thank you, no.
Some of it's new salt, I presume.
Yes.
How'd you get that? How's the price on that now, since we
Well,
didn't have any snow?
We're on the state bid.
Oh, okay.
We were locked in at about a little over $70 a ton, which is $14 a ton more than last year because there was a shortage.
Yeah. At least perceived.
Which I had heard that some entities do their own bidding outside of the state bid and they couldn't even get bids. So I'm glad we're in the situation we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got the other building opened up then for parking?
We are working on organizing that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, I imagine it does take
Yeah. It was kind of a junk drawer.
kind
if you will.
of a fun project though now that you
Yeah.
got the salt barn.
Yeah, right. Gives us some room.
Good deal.
Back to community crossings. This morning at 8 o'clock, applications opened for the 2019 run. So I will be working on resubmitting the other projects that I had previously submitted, and we'll see how that goes.
Oh, we've learned a little bit on it now.
Oh, yeah, there's always, well, it's it's kind of a moving target, some of it.
Well, based on what we've seen, we probably shouldn't get too excited about getting anything, right?
I'm not going to get too excited.
That's what I mean, I'm just thinking about those who got zero last year. So we've been pretty lucky.
You know, I haven't really heard. I've asked some folks, some vendors and suppliers who deal with other counties what's going on, and I haven't heard anything good as far as, or legitimate as far as why these other counties didn't get. I know there were certain pitfalls. You know, if you didn't have your 2016 project complete and closed out, you were not getting any money, period.
Okay.
If you missed the deadline, you're not getting any money, period.
Those are things we wouldn't know about the other counties, so.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Is this, I'm sorry, is this round one of two this year though, or?
There are, yes, January and July.
Yes.
There's two opportunities. I'm not going to wait for July.
Right. Right.
Just because it appears to me that the awards are based on the money that's available. Well, if everybody doesn't apply in January and does apply in July, it's going to make less money available for, to go around. So you can get up to $1 million per year. If I can get $500,000 in January, $500,000 in July, that'd be great.
Yeah, would be.
We'll see, yeah.
Well, I appreciate you even going out for it. That's great.
Well, trust me, it's a lot of work.
I know it is. I know it is.
Some of the stuff that they're making it really difficult. And
Sure.
So I've talked in the past about a bridge replacement, rehabilitation, repair plan. There, thank you. That is, as far as repair and rehabilitation, I've met multiple times with our consultant and contractor. That's the plan that's in the inspection report, and that's the plan for now, as I've always done. I basically show you what I'm planning on doing for the next 2 years, and then we'll reevaluate everything after the 2020 inspection. I did also show, and for repairs, we did quite a few repairs last year, or I guess it would be last year. Seems like just a week ago. We had some scour protection we needed to do on a few bridges, mostly Eel River bridges. And then we took the repair list of recommendations from the consultant, and we did some work with local forces, give the guys something different to do. And so next year, we're looking at some erosion and some voids under end beds. Animals get in there and wreak havoc sometimes, and then we've got some other things that we plan on doing with local forces. So that is what I have for that.
Brandon, how is your fund, your bridge fund? Is it?
We are in pretty good shape. I'm working on end of the year stuff, so I looked at balances. Right now is at 1.4 million in the cash page.
Okay,
So
good. So that
we should be good.
Yeah.
that one.
Bridge 95 is the wood bridge.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that one was, wood bridges, there's a place for them, and that's not
not
a
it.
good place for a wood bridge, but it has lasted. I think it was built in about 86, so not the life expectancy that we get out of concrete, but that's what you get.
A lot of things
As
done.
you previously approved, we're getting 2 new 1-tons. One will be a dump truck, one will be a sign truck. We've gotten quotes for the column accessories, appurtenances for the dump truck, the dump bed, the hydraulics, snow plow. We got 3 quotes from Terry Truck, Hoosier Trailer and Truck, and W.A. Jones. And the cheapest of the 3 was W.A. Jones at $31,928. So, and that does include stainless bed and V plow. So it'll be nice for some
Keep
of the
our
lake,
money at home.
some of the lake areas.
Good job. Yeah. That's great.
And then finally, I think for me, sorry to keep you, but State Board of Accounts issued a directive on December 20th to go into effect on January 1st, which we had already submitted claims to be paid on January 7th. That the directive directed JANA to create a new sub-fund. The MVH fund was always been 1176. Now we have an 1173, and to keep track of the 50% of your money being spent on construction, reconstruction, and preservation, you have to put 50% of your MVH revenue into this new sub-fund, and you can only spend it on reconstruction, construction, and preservation. Sounds simple until you start paying payrolls and benefits. And Jana and I have been working together, going over this. She's been working with her vendors. It's kind of still up in the air right now. There's been some chatter on the LTAP listserv as you can imagine, a little bit of grunting and groaning about this. I just can't imagine that State Board of Accounts understands what we do and how I'm supposed to pay one guy 3 hours for this day out of 1173 and 4.5 out of 1176 and do that for every guy for every day all year long. Plus, then we've got benefits, which we can apply towards these projects, and we need to figure out how we can make that work also. So
Go ahead.
Well, it's because we can't be the only county though facing this.
Oh, there's 92 of them. Yeah.
So somebody's
Plus all
got
the
somebody's got to have the answer. Or 92 somebody say this is out of our realm.
Yeah. Well, I think we can make it work. It's just more work for us.
Oh, it is.
So the income side, how does that split up and go into each separate fund? How's it divided? Half and half?
Half and half, 50%, right down the board. And if there's an odd penny, put it in the new fund, so there's no question.
Wow.
So we're working on that.
Yeah, Jana and I have talked about that a little bit.
Is it nice?
Well, the problem is with the right stuff, it's almost impossible to do it. They're not set up that way. So now we've got to work around that, and it just takes a lot of time for.
Well, now okay, but that brings up another thing. Then, does the right stuff know about this? Because it's not going. We're not going to be the only county.
Right.
But that's an issue. Right. So the right stuff ought to be the one working to fix it.
Well, and that's, I mean, relatively, that's the easy part. Because I can charge wages and benefits to a project, okay? We're chip sealing, whatever, 60, 80 miles of road this year. All of our wages can be charged and paid for out of this 1173, which that's what the right stuff needs to work out how we can do that. But I can also charge benefits. Well, if it's retirement, PERF, or FICA and Medicare, or group insurance, we know what we're paying each payroll because, you know, the county contributes, which comes from the highway fund, but the financial is not set up to do that. But at least we have a record, and surely we can pull on that and see how much and figure out the proportion of wages.
What do you do with PTO time?
That's where I was going with this. That's where I was going with this, because PTO time is not a direct expense from the budget.
It's indirect.
Absolutely, and I fully intend on, on charging that, but the only thing I can think is we're going to have to wait till the end of the year, figure out
Percentage.
by percentage, and then make an adjustment on the wages. So I'm glad you brought that up and you understand what I'm talking about, and I don't think State Board of Accounts understands how complicated they made this. I tried to make it simpler by creating a 4176 fund, which was all of our wheel tax and miscellaneous revenues, and that way MVH, all of MVH went into the MVH fund, as long as we spent 50% of it, and I was working on the database to be able to justify we were spending 50% of it, and then we got this on the 20th of December. We're going to get through it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I know, but it's just another unfunded mandate. Takes your time, takes your money.
Yeah.
You know, it's just an unfunded mandate.
Yep.
Well, our financial system is trying to figure out a way so we don't have to make all the adjustments at the end of the year. They are working on it.
Good.
So we're trying. It's just...
Well, and like you mentioned, we're not Lau's only client either, so I'm sure they're probably hearing it from other counties.
Yeah, they're probably hearing it from all over.
So
Sometimes it feels like we're the only ones, though. I mean,
it sure does.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
You feel like, why are they picking on us?
Well, I did call Allen County Highway Department and spoke to their financial controller, and like I told her, misery loves company, and we were going back and forth about this, about how they're dealing with it, how we're dealing with it. So we'll get through it. It's just, keeps job exciting, I guess. So that's all I got.
Each one of your operators gets an iPad that they punch in and out. And
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll get that going right away.
that would be the only way to truly, to eliminate a lot of the issues on it. But
Yeah. Besides the hardware of buying the iPads, then you got to have a software that.
You'd have to have somebody
Yeah.
actually produce the software. And
Yeah.
that's not cheap at all.
Well, our database at the highway is custom built, what we have. I've gone in and done some additional work from what I've learned from Gary, our programmer. It's still not ready, but somebody on the LTAP listserv said that they called one of the gals down at State Board of Accounts, and they reported to the listserv that SBOA might not take it, or it might take exception, or might not take exception, or whatever, for 2019, because it really should have come out in June or July. And so they already give it. That's the good news. There is some good news. They give us a free pass on 2018, because actually that 50% thing was supposed to be effective 2018. So they already give us a free pass for 18. And it sounds like, at least based on that, they might for 19 also, but I'm not counting on it. I want to be ready. And so.
Well, thank you, Brandon.
Yep,
Appreciate
thank you.
everything. Before we convene here, we've got, I just wanted to announce that we've got Tiffany Forster, that is our new half auditor and half HR person, that we're glad to have you with us. And
She's doing great. So.
yeah,
She'll be done with Angie Mark here. We're working into that, so.
a lot of good reports. Okay.
Need a motion?
Motion to
Motion adjourned.
adjourn. Okay, we got a motion to adjourn, we got a second for the discussion. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
We're adjourned.